Hey, Disney cruisers, and welcome back to the DCL community where we are here to help you plan, prepare for, and get excited about your Disney cruise. I am thrilled for the topic that we're talking about today because this is something that you guys ask about literally every day of every week of every year is how to save money on a Disney cruise. So we've got a Disney cruising expert with us who I'm so excited to introduce you to. Tammy, do you want to introduce yourself to everyone?
Sure. My name is Tammy Whiting, and I am the owner of Storybook Destinations, and we have been in business 10 years. We opened almost 10 years ago. We have 23 agents all over the country. On a personal note, I'm mom, 2 kids, and a beautiful daughter-in-law, empty nesters here, and I have been a military spouse for 30-something years. We'll just say 30-something. That sounds better.
Yeah. I love it.
And Storybook Destinations, we're an authorized Disney vacation planner. We are known for our cruise expertise. We have a cruise team made up of agents that have qualified. They have to qualify to be on the cruise team. They have to done a certain number of sailings, a variety of itineraries, and so they are really good at what they do. They know their stuff. I personally have been on 50 Disney cruises, which sounds crazy even to me. 50 Disney cruises.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
And several other lines too. And I've contributed to the Unofficial Guide to Disney Cruise Line ever since it started in 2014.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so if you guys want a Disney cruising expert, let's go. This is awesome. So if you have any questions about planning your Disney cruise or your Disney vacation, your Orlando vacation, reach out to Tammy and her team. As you can tell, they've got a ton of experience and their planning services are completely free for you to use. So they can help you get a free quote and give you all that expert advice and insight. But today, and as we're going through, let us know if you guys have any questions and we can answer them as we go. So we're going to get this pulled up. And if you guys have any ideas on how to save on a Disney cruise that we don't talk about, let us know in the comments so we can always circle back. But let's dive into number 1. What do you say?
Okay, yeah, that sounds great. Okay, 10 ways to save money on your Disney cruise. So number 1, book early. This is pretty well known with Disney Cruise Line. The best prices are the day they are released. As the ships fill up, the prices go up. We have seen prices go up hundreds of dollars on the very same day they were released. It's just those super popular itineraries or super popular times of year, like the holidays, Christmas, midsummer, new itineraries, they fill up so quickly that the prices just go up and up. So if at all possible, book early.
Yes. And if they announce a new batch of itineraries and I am a first-time Disney cruiser and I have to wait, right? Can you talk a little bit about the window and how do I budget for a cruise if I've never booked before and I just see the prices going up?
Right. It's painful. It's painful when you can't book on that first day and you're starting to watch things fill up and the prices go up. I will say that even with super popular new itineraries, we'll see them sometimes sell out on the first day or two. But a lot of those are just holds and they're going to drop. And so some people will, buyer's remorse, whatever, they'll really look at their calendar and realize they can't go. So don't panic if what you want is full, it could still open up. But in that same vein, if you're seeing people post online like the prices for the first day and you can't book till the second or third, don't take those prices to heart. They could change. Just keep that in mind. Your deposit's going to be 20% usually. Unless there's a special or something else going on, your deposit's usually going to be 20%. So I generally look at those first day prices and just kind of warn people these can go up a little bit. So, just keep that in mind, be a little bit flexible in what you're ready to put down.
Yes, because Disney does do their pricing based on supply and demand. So as those rooms book up, question for you, the holds. How long can I book a hold for? Can I book more than one? Can you talk a little bit about how those work?
Yes, you can book. Concierge will only hold for 1 day, but everything else is generally 3 days. And you can book more than one. If you're not sure on a date and you want to put a couple on hold while you figure it out, you can do that. The system usually will not let you do like 2 holds over the same week. They might recognize, oh, you already got this booked, or even 2 different rooms. Like, oh, I'm not sure if I want a veranda or an ocean view. It's not going to let you book 2 rooms on that sailing. It can tell you've already got one booked.
Interesting. Okay, so if I wanted to book two verandas that were connecting, I could hold the two together.
You can, with different names on each one. You can, absolutely.
Okay, and so I probably couldn't use a placeholder with that, right?
You can use a placeholder if you if you have 2 placeholders, you can use 2 placeholders for those 2 rooms with 2 different names in them. But if you but otherwise you could use a placeholder for one of them. If you are booking, if you can, if let's say you're a platinum guest and you can book earlier than the people in the other room, you cannot book a room for them on the same day, unless you put somebody from your room into their room. Like if myself and my spouse, we wanted 2 rooms and we both qualified for platinum booking, we could put our names in the 2, one name in one room and one name in the other room. So we could book those 2 rooms to lock in that pricing for our friends. We'll just add, their names in there.
That is so good to know. And are you able to switch back so that he's in your room after the fact?
Not technically. They will sometimes let you switch names out, but not technically. Really, we've done this before with our family. We were booking early and we had 2 placeholders. We wanted to be able to, I had a placeholder, my husband had a placeholder, and we put my sister and her husband in our rooms. And once we got on board the ship, we just told them, we are going to switch back into the correct rooms. Disney doesn't care where you sleep ultimately. And so they print us all out, all new Key to the World cards.
Perfect. Okay, so there are some workarounds, and that is reason number 847 to use a travel agent who can teach you.
Right. That's right.
Okay, moving on to number 2.
Okay, this one seems contradictory to number 1, and that is book late. And the reason for that is if you cannot book early, that's always my first suggestion. If you cannot book early, there are times when some good rates will come out at the end. Some restricted fares, some specials, Disney Plus, but things like that. Some things that can happen closer to the end. So don't give up. If something's too much, there is a chance that a special of some kind will come out and you can book late. And if you're kind of right in the middle there and you're looking at a cruise and it has a ton of availability, but not no special rates on it or anything, you might want to hold out and just keep watching it, make sure it doesn't fill up too much, and just hold out for those special rates. And those special rates are called IGT, OGT, and VGT. And that stands for Inside Guarantee, Ocean View Guarantee, and Veranda Guarantee. And what those 3 terms mean is whichever one you book, whichever one you book, you are guaranteed that level or higher. And I don't want to get your hopes up. Usually it's that level, but occasionally it will be something higher. But if I book an IGT, I'm guaranteed to get an inside or higher, veranda, a VGT, veranda or higher. And so you can't pick your room. And there are rules with that. It's due in full when you book it. You can't change it around. You can't cancel, although they will sometimes let you upgrade out of those. But you can't cancel it. It's locked in. You're not supposed to make any changes. So they're restrictive, but they are usually a good deal. They are not usually a better deal than opening day. So still book opening day if you can, but they are usually a good deal.
Good. That is so good to know, because I know so many people try and wait for last minute deals. What's the difference between a guarantee rate stateroom and a guarantee with restrictions?
That's a good question. People use those terms interchangeably all the time, and they are not the same thing, and it's confusing because they both have the word guarantee in them. But a GTY room is just a room that Disney, a category that has started to fill up. And when it gets down to those last few rooms in that category, Disney likes to leave themselves a little flexibility on assigning rooms. They may get, 3 more families. They're going to book them all in those exact 3 rooms that were open. They may get 5 more families that want that, that level of stateroom. And so they want to bump a couple up. So what they do is those last few rooms, they don't let you pick a specific room. And that's a GTY room. And it stands for guarantee. And they won't let you pick a room, and there's no discount on that. And a lot of people think they're getting a discount when they do a GTY. There is no discount on that. It's just giving Disney flexibility. When you're looking for the special rates, you want to look for the word restricted. It's IGT, OGT, or VGT, but when it's spelled out like deluxe, ocean view, look for the word restricted. They have the restrictions, but those are the ones with the discounts.
Got it. And when do these typically get released? Is there like a time of day or a week, or is it months in advance? Like, when should I be looking for these potential deals?
Yeah, we used to see them. Well, we used to not see them at all until about 30 to 60 days out. Then COVID happened, and then after COVID, as they were starting trying to fill the ships back up, they were releasing them pretty early, much earlier than I had seen before. They usually waited until after final payment because then you couldn't cancel and get the better rate and da 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 da. Da. And but when they were trying to fill those ships, they were releasing them really early before final payments were even due. Now we're starting to see them slow down. We're starting to see them pop up closer to sailing. They can still be early because you're locking Disney still likes to release them early sometimes because you are still, locking in a rate. You're restricted. You're definitely going, things like that. So they're sometimes you'll see them early, but in general, they're starting to get closer to the sailing date again.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I haven't seen any of these rates for the Wish,
I
right?
don't think I have seen any for the Wish. I'm trying to think if I don't think I've seen any for the Wish. There were a couple of sailings that on the Wish during the school year that didn't fill up quite as quickly, but lately they have just been completely sold out. So yeah,
Yes.
I would not wait for a good rate on the Wish for a while.
Yes, agreed. And two more questions for you on this one. So many questions. And you guys, I see there are so many people watching, and hi, we're so glad you're here. If you guys have questions, let us know in the comments. But some people like to ask the question, well, can I wait to upgrade at the port? Will I save money that way? Do you have any advice on that front? Is it worth it, or are you not actually saving any money there?
Oh no, absolutely. You are definitely saving money if you can upgrade at the port. Now, the caveat there is I tell people you book the stateroom that you want to sail in because there is no guarantee that once you get to the port that anything won't be available. Take Alaska, for example. If you are not going to be happy if you're not in a veranda room, don't risk it. Book a veranda room. If you think, I'll be fine if I'm in an ocean view stateroom, then book an ocean view stateroom. And the second you get to the port, you get there as early as you can and as early as you're allowed, and you check in and you go right to that supervisor's desk. We have had some amazing deals upgrading there in the port. There's just no guarantee that they will be there. But if they are there, they're generally half to two-thirds off of what it would have been if you had done it 2 weeks before.
Got it. Good to know. Okay, I'm definitely gonna remember that one. And then last question for you here. How late is too late to book? Like, if I want to get on the Wish tomorrow, can I
It's
do that, or is it too late?
it's too late. You generally 3 days before or so. It's once you get within those 3 days, it's going to be almost impossible. And for the Wish, really, I mean, we're seeing it. If you looked for the next 2 weeks, you wouldn't see anything even available. But for the other ships as well, once you get within those 3 days, it's going to be pretty hard.
Got it. Good to know. Okay, so don't wait too long because then you risk the chance. But if you've got a lot of flexibility in your vacation schedule, this might be a good option for you. But
Yes, absolutely,
booking early is still the number one.
absolutely.
And then I have a placeholder. Do I have to book before the expiration date or sail before the expiration date for a placeholder? That's a
You
great
have,
question.
you have to sail before, and so it's 2 years from the exact day you book it. So we generally tell people wait until one of your the last full day on board if you can, if you're not going to forget, and book it that last full day you're on board because that will give you a few extra days in the end. But you have to sail there. Your date of your cruise that you book has to sail by that date. That can be the day it sails, but it has to sail by that date by 2 years out.
And for those who don't know what a placeholder is, do you want to talk through that real quick?
Sure. Yeah, and we are going to talk about that.
Oh, no, then let's save it. Let's save it and move on to number three.
Okay, and I did see someone asked if we support guests from the UK, and yes, absolutely. We do have clients from the UK, but we do have to book in US dollars. So that's the one difference there. But if you're okay with booking in US dollars, we absolutely do have clients from the UK.
Awesome.
Okay, let's see. Know your discounts. So Disney does have discounts sometimes, and they kind of come and go. What's available? Florida resident rates, military rates, and Canadian rates are the three that you'll see most of the time. You'll also see sometimes some Southern California rates. We saw the big Disney Plus special a while ago for Disney Plus holders and Plus users, and they are also like the restricted fares, they're starting to happen closer to the sale date than they used to be. And there's different rules for the different rates. Some of them are you have to cancel what you have and rebook if you already had something booked. Some of them they can apply to your existing reservation. So there's different rules for them, but they're always worth checking on, because sometimes as a military spouse, sometimes we had a British Isles cruise, I think it was several years ago, that the military rates came out and we were already in penalty period. And so we had to cancel and rebook, but we still saved so much money that we were able to save money and upgrade to a veranda. So it's definitely worth checking.
Yeah. And is it the same deal with those? You just have to keep kind of checking back periodically? Or is that something that as my travel agent, that if you know that I'm interested in European sailings and I'm a military family or I live in Florida, is that something that you can keep an eye on for me?
Absolutely. And I was going to say that. I was going to say you need to let your travel agent know. It's something that that we watch for our clients, and especially if it's something we may not know about you, like for the military rate. Department of Defense personnel qualify for the military rate on the cruise line. They do not at Disney World. They do on the cruise line. And so, but we may not know that's what you do. You know, maybe we've missed that in a conversation with you. And so if you qualify for any of these discounts, let your travel agent know so they can watch for them. And if you want to keep watching for them, I'll give a little shout out to Scott from the Disney Cruise Line blog. He has his website every Monday morning. He'll put out a great list of what's out there right now. And you may find a couple of one-off rooms here and there that have fallen off that list. But in general, he's got a great list going. And so I like to check that on Monday mornings and see what's coming up.
Fantastic. And that's another great reason to have a travel agent, right? They can be looking at these things and plugged in, because as much as we love Disney Cruise Line, the website isn't always the most user-friendly, and having to scroll through every single itinerary and every single stateroom and clicking into it to know if that one's going to have a promotion or something you can take advantage of.
That is true.
Yeah.
That is true. With these discounts, there is a show special offers filter, but it doesn't show up on the main page. It shows up on like the second page after you've run some of the other filters through. So you will see that, and sometimes that will help you narrow some things down too.
Yes. And let's see. So I've just come back from the Magic and I'm sorting my placeholder out, as I'm from the UK and I could not sort this out on the boat because it was in pounds. Got it. Well, that makes sense. That conversion, it'll get you.
Yeah, it does get you. It does.
Oh, man. Well, good to know on the discounts. We always get asked, is the Disney Plus promotion coming back? Is it coming back?
We hope so. It was a great deal. We'll see.
Oh, it was such a good one. But that's another reason to have a travel agent, because they can let you know when those things become available.
That's right.
Let's move on to number 4.
Okay, book 2 staterooms. That may not make a whole lot of sense to you, but here's one specific example that it works for, and there's a few. On the classic ships especially, they did not build as many options for rooms for families of 5. And so on a Dream and the Fantasy, you've got veranda rooms for 5, you've got ocean views for 5, you've got more options. On the classic ships, the Magic and the Wonder, they only have veranda rooms that will sleep 5. And so those veranda rooms can be quite expensive, as we know at times. And so if you take the second, let's say third, fourth, and fifth guests, those prices can be pretty high in that veranda room. So sometimes it's actually cheaper to get 2 inside rooms, sometimes even 2 ocean view rooms. It's cheaper to get 2 rooms than it is to get that 1 room for the family of 5. And sometimes that's even true for a family of 4, especially on itineraries like Alaska, where you'll have inside room prices, not bad, ocean view room prices, not bad. And there is a large jump from ocean view stateroom prices to veranda stateroom prices in Alaska, much more so than we see in the Caribbean and whatnot. There's a very large jump there. So sometimes, rather than putting your family of 4 in 2 veranda rooms, you might say, hey, we'd be fine in 2 inside rooms. I mean, we get 2 bathrooms in 2 inside rooms. It's great. We have so much space. So sometimes it's worth it, not just for the money savings, but you can actually save money by getting 2 rooms sometimes.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have someone I know who puts his kids and his mother-in-law in 1 room in an inside room, and him and his wife have the veranda across the hall.
Yep.
There's different ways to work it.
That's right.
Saving $2,000 on on your Disney cruise. That's no small feat. You can put that towards port adventures, onboard activities, mortgage payments, whatever you need.
Right.
Okay, time on your cruise. What's this one about?
Okay, so time your cruise. Timing is everything on a Disney cruise. As you can guess, a cruise line that was targeted at families is going to be most expensive when school is not in session. And that means holidays and the summer. That's going to be your most expensive time for Disney cruises. When I like to say, when school is out, no, when school is in, the prices are up. Or no, I did it backwards. School is out, prices are up.
Yes.
And so if you can go when school is in session, you're going to save a lot of money. You'll see that Alaska, again, that just comes back up. The edges of the season of Alaska, May and September, so much cheaper than June and July because school has started or finished. And so they're going to be a lot cheaper then because Disney doesn't fill their ships as easily when the kids are in school and when the kids are out. And so look for if you can go when school is in session, that's going to save you money in general. If you cannot take your children out of school, or maybe you're a teacher and you can't miss school, then look for the shoulder seasons there, right after the first week your kids get out of school, the first week before, their last week before they go back, because all different schools all over the country have different schedules. And so you may luck out and you'll get out earlier than a lot of schools and you'll still find a pretty good price there. And I also recommend September. September is historically the cheapest month to sail. And I have a group of friends, girls cruise, ladies cruise. We do every September because we don't have any children with us. And we can save a fortune going in September. And other times it's hurricane season. So some people don't like to sail during that prime hurricane season, even though we've never really had any problems. And the kids are back in school. A lot of people don't want to take their kids out of school the first month they're back in school as well. So if you're completely flexible, September is historically the cheapest time.
And would you recommend, if I do want to go in September, to get travel insurance just in case something happens?
I do. We always recommend travel insurance for cruises, but it's especially important during hurricane season.
Awesome. And I have to ask this question because I know so many people deal with, the mom guilt or parent guilt of wanting to give their kids these experiences, but it's just a little too expensive in the summertime or over the holidays. So how do you kind of talk through with your clients if they have a cruise they want to go on, but they'll have to take their kids out of school for 3, 4, 5 days?
Yeah, I mean, I really, it certainly is easier when they're younger. And I really would talk to their school district, their teachers, see what they can do while they're there. Are they going to be going to any really interesting places that they might learn something from? Is anything educational about the trip at all? Maybe they can just, in this day and age, we're so used to things being virtual. Maybe they can take a lot with them and do some things virtually while they're there, and just explain it to your teachers. See if maybe there's something that can be worked out. And if it doesn't work one year, maybe it'll work the next year. It does vary every year based on your school and your teacher situation. And
yeah, absolutely. And I know some of the schools around here, they do something where it's an app and they upload all the assignments for the entire semester. So if your kids can work ahead and that can kind of be their motivation to go on the cruise, let me tell you, there's nothing that'll get me to get my homework done in advance than a Disney cruise.
Yes, and that's a good tip. Make them do it before you get on, not while they're on or after, because after they have no motivation. Do it before you get on.
So true. So true. They're going to be ice cream, hyped up on ice cream when they're on board and just crying after. Enjoy a classic. What's this one about?
So this is referencing the classic ships. The Magic and the Wonder tend to have the least expensive itineraries, Alaska being the exception. They're sailing to the Caribbean and the Bahamas, just like the Wish, and yet they're a lot less expensive because people like new ships. I like new ships. I like new things. People like new things and they want to be on the latest and greatest. And so they tend to gravitate towards that and leave the other ships not quite as full. And so their prices are better. And the Dream and the Fantasy are actually moving into that position a little bit as well, because the Wish has taken over the typical Dream itineraries, and now we're seeing the Dream out of Miami and whatnot with some great prices down there. And I would expect that Now, when the treasure takes over for the fantasy, we'll see the same things with the fantasy. The fantasy prices will be much better as well.
Yeah, and are the classic ships as good as the Wish? Am I still gonna have fun if I go on the Magic or the Wonder?
Oh, they are. I love the classic ships. I mean, I love the big ships. I love the new ships, but I still, every time I step onto a classic ship, I love it just as much. Um, I know several people who the Magic is their absolute favorite ship, and I've spent more time on the Magic than any other ship, just because when I went to Europe so many times and just different reasons, and I love it. And I've never had a bad cruise on a classic ship, and both of them are, they're constantly going through big refurbishments. The Wonder's about to go in for several weeks and get really updated. So they're always doing new and exciting things to even the classic ships.
Yeah, that's such a good point. I agree. The Magic, I know we're not supposed to have favorites, but the Magic will always have my heart. And, Disney has a smaller fleet compared to some of these other cruise lines. So they have to take care of their ships if they want to be able to have itineraries going all over the world.
Yes.
It's exciting to see the fleet going, but don't discount the Magic and Wonder.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, there's nothing like it on any Disney cruise.
That's right.
Oh, onboard credits. This is a favorite topic. What's this about?
Okay, so onboard credits. So when you are out there online searching for a price, you might think that you have found a great deal on a Disney cruise. Let me tell you, the price is the price. Disney does not let anyone discount their cruises, anyone. And so that means if you're looking at a price and it looks a lot cheaper through this website than it does through Disney Cruise Line or through the travel agent you're using, there's something that's not there. It's not apples to apples. There's something missing from the quote, or often they just haven't put port fees and taxes and things like that in there yet. So get to that final page. It's going to be the same price because Disney does not allow people to discount it. But Disney does allow companies to offer onboard credits. And we are one of those companies that does. Our agency, we offer onboard credits to our clients as a thank you for booking with us. And we enjoy giving them it's a little bit of spending money on board. You can use it for anything that's charged to your onboard account, whether that's excursions or if you wanted to use it for your gratuities on board. If you didn't prepay them, you could do that. You can use it for souvenirs. There's all kinds of things you can spend it on board. And we enjoy giving that to our clients, and we do. And so look for some onboard credits to help with that spending money. And my one caution there is do not sacrifice good service for an onboard credit. Good service is still very, very important. And we offer that good service as well as our onboard credits. But wherever you're looking, don't sacrifice that service just for that little bit of spending money.
Yes, we have heard horror stories in the DCL community about people who went with specific agencies that gave the biggest onboard credit. And then as soon as they booked, the travel agent was nowhere to be found and wasn't helping.
Yeah.
That is not worth it. You want a travel agent like Tammy and her team to help support you and answer all of your questions. And, an onboard credit is an additional perk. And of course, referrals are always the highest compliment.
Absolutely.
Question for you. If I I know on the Disney Cruise Line app now for the onboard gifts, you can kind of purchase onboard credit beforehand. Can you talk about that?
You can. It's a great way, especially if you wanted to prepay a little bit, you could put an onboard credit on your own cruise. It's also a great way to give a gift maybe to someone that is sailing. If you are looking at the onboard, you wanted to give them a gift and you're looking at all the selection there, and there's some neat onboard gifts for sure, but you weren't sure what they would really want, or maybe you wanted to help them pay for an excursion. You can go onto the DisneyCruise.com website and just with their booking number and their last name, and you can put an onboard credit on someone's account, your own cruise or someone else's cruise. It's a really nice touch too. And they get a little card in their room saying who it's from and how much it is.
Awesome. That's so great. And what if I don't use all the onboard credit on my account? Do I get it back at the end of the cruise?
So if you are looking at an agency's onboard credit, you would not get that back. If you are looking at your own that you put on, yes, I'm not going to say it's fast and it sometimes has some hiccups along the way, but yes, eventually it would come back to you. So I would try not to put more on than you think you'll spend.
Yes, you can always bring those gift cards with you and add them once you're on the ship. Just go to guest services and they can take care of that for you, because getting anything back once you give Disney your money.
Right. They don't want to give it back easily.
No. And speaking of gift cards,
Oh, yes, gift cards. Okay, so not all gift cards are going to save you money, but there are times when stores will run a special on things like Disney gift cards, and it's usually only about 5% off. But I know Costco often has a pack of credit gift cards that you can buy, and it's like 5% off what it would have been if you had paid full price for them. And HEB, a grocery store in Texas, does that sometimes. I know Target here and there, but it's only 5%. But 5% of a $5,000 cruise adds up. So it's a nice spending money that you've saved there too. So when you see a special on gift cards, stock up on them.
Yes, absolutely. Especially around the holidays like Black Friday, a lot
Yeah.
of those deals get even sweeter. So don't be afraid to do some of your vacation planning. And if I do have a whole bunch of gift cards that I've stockpiled, can you as a travel agent use those to pay for my reservation?
We can. It sometimes takes a little while to enter all those gift cards, but we can.
Awesome. Good to know. Oh, rebook on board.
Yes. Okay. So here's what we were talking about before. Nowadays, you do not used to be able to get on board and book a specific sailing date in the future, or book a placeholder. Now it's really only placeholders, and it's only done on the app. And what you will do, it's very easy on the app. You'll go in, and Disney will remind you at times during the week, like, "Hey, did you know you can still rebook on board?" But you rebook on board. It's called a placeholder. It's $250 for one room. You can book up to two rooms, so $250 each in that case. And though if you book two rooms, those two rooms have to be used on the same sailing in the future. So you can't use one, oh, I'm going to book two rooms and take one at Christmas and one at Christmas and one in the summer. They both, excuse me, they both have to be used on the same sailing date. But they do save you money. They will save you 10% off a future cruise. And if it's a longer cruise, you'll pay less of a deposit as well, which is nice, especially since those longer cruises tend to have a more expensive deposit. The exception to that is concierge. You will not save 10% off concierge, and you will get a small onboard credit. But I would suggest if you're booking with a travel agency like us that you talk to us first, because usually we'll give you a better onboard credit than that small one that you would have gotten for rebooking on board. Excuse me. So it does save you money. And if you did not use it, or like you couldn't say, I always tell people, book it no matter what. If you think there is any chance in the next 2 years that you will sail again, book it. And if you don't use it, Disney just refunds your money. So you don't lose a thing. It's a no lose situation here. And one question we get as well is, let's say I'm sailing in 6 months, but I know another cruise I want, 10 months from now. Should I wait till I get on board before I book that one? And then I'm going to go right back to point number one. No, you should book it now. Book it now. And then once you get on board, you can book a placeholder there, or you can talk to your travel agent before you get on. Send it to your travel agent. Let her know you booked it, she or he. And we can check, and we'll look at your what you currently locked in and what the new price is with the placeholder discount, and see if it's better. If it's better, then we cancel the old one, move the money over. It's all seamless to you. You won't even know it's happening. Move the money over, and it's all on the new placeholder, and you save money. Now, if you had not done that and you'd waited 6 months to get on board, it's possible that the cruise price could have gone up more than 10%. So you just lost all the savings that you would have had. So I always say book now and then reprice on board if it's better, which many times it is. But
I was going to say, please listen to Tammy on this one. I learned this lesson the hard way. I tried to hold out for my next cruise with a placeholder, and I still regret it. It went up by hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And it just, I'm going to sail again in the next 2 years. I can promise you that. So how do I actually use the placeholder? If I didn't choose a date on board, can I book using my placeholder online?
Yes, and you can't. No. You actually have to call placeholders in. It's just a weird glitch in the Disney system. They cannot convert a placeholder online, but your travel agent can do it. Your travel agent, or you can call into Disney and just tell them what date you want, and they will convert it to a specific date.
Yes, if you do not want to wait on hold with Disney for hours upon hours, get yourself a travel agent.
Right, they will do it for you. Right.
And speaking of, how do I add my travel agent to a placeholder, and when do I have to do that by?
if you booked your last cruise, the cruise that you're on with a travel agent, it will ask you during the booking process in the app if you want to keep that travel agent. And so just make sure you hit yes, and it should be reassigned to your travel agent. And then when you get back, let them know that you did it, and they can check and make sure it was and get it fixed if not. And if you did not book a cruise with that travel agent or with a travel agent you want to use, then when you get back, as long as it's booked right with Disney, as long as you didn't, say yes to a travel agent that you had in the past and you didn't want to keep, as long as it's booked right through Disney, then you can transfer it to a travel agent. You just have to do it within 30 days of making that booking. And they are very, very strict on that. So it has to be done within 30 days. There's just an easy form to fill out. Let the travel agent know. They'll send it to you. And it's a very easy process, but it has to be done in those 30 days.
Yes, and when they are strict, it's like Cinderella at midnight level of strict.
And I agree.
That clock strike 12. And I know I had another question for you on placeholders. It'll come back to me, but let's head in to number 10. And guys, this is going to be our last tip. So if you have any last questions, please let us know. But number 10, use a travel agent.
Yeah, that is not surprising that I'm saying that, is it? Yeah. Now, a travel agent really can save you money at times, not in every situation, because in general, the price is the price, as I said, other than those onboard credits. But a good travel agent knows all those things I just told you. And a good travel agent knows to steer you towards, hey, can you wait one more week to go on that sailing? Because the pricing is going to drop a lot the next week, or, hey, that ship's really empty, and you're only 6 months, you're only, 60 days out. I think we're going to see some discounts on that. We might want to hold out just, a couple days. And they can also tell you things like, hey, you guys can save money if you go into 2 inside rooms instead of staying in that veranda stateroom. And they know like the secret porthole rooms. They know what the secret porthole rooms are. You're insistent that you need daylight. You need that ocean view stateroom. Maybe they'll be like, hey, how about a secret porthole room where you're paying the price of an inside stateroom? So use a travel agent. They can steer you towards these savings.
Yes. And I mean, just right, the old phrase, time is money, the amount of time that I save because I don't have to sit on hold with Disney for hours on end. I have a travel agent who I can talk to do that. And, just having somebody that you can trust and talk to and gets to know your family. Like Tammy was saying, it's not just a smile and dial situation. Her and her team get to know you and know your family and know that your daughter is obsessed with Elsa. So she's going to want to probably experience the Wish or maybe the fantasy that has Frozen as a show. There's all these things that they know and they can help cater specifically to your family. It saves you so much time when you're doing research. There's endless amounts of questions and information out there. So this just helps you not have to stress. I can't recommend it enough. Oh, well, this has been fantastic. I know I definitely learned a thing or two, and I always think that I know just about everything there is to know about Disney cruises, but this has been so wonderful. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you, Tammy, for joining as well. And we will see y'all on board. Bye.